Hey everyone, this is Adi, and you're listening to the Summer of Bitcoin experience. In this episode, we talk to Adithya Vardhan, a 20-year-old university student from Pilani, India. Aditya participated in Summer of Bitcoin 2022 and worked on Alby. Alby brings Bitcoin payments to the web with in browser payments and identity. Aditya worked on refactoring the frontend for Alby as well as wrote batteries for introducing Lightning payments to the web. We spoke in depth about the potential of the Lightning Network in areas of micropayments, streaming money, and disrupting search engines. Spoiler alert, it's not ChatGPT. Let's hear it from Aditya. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Summer of Bitcoin experience. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Adithya and I'm a fourth year from Pilani and pursuing electronics and instrumentation. And I'm a front-end developer and I'm focused on building on the Lightning Network and hence on the Bitcoin. I participated in Summer of Bitcoin last year in 2022 summer, and it has been a wonderful experience and I'm very excited to share it with you guys.
Great. So Aditya, let's talk about Bitcoin. Like, when was the first time you heard about it, and what made you stumble down that Bitcoin rabbit hole?
Yeah, so I first came across Bitcoin while scrolling through some random YouTube videos, and it felt interesting to me how an anonymous person came out of nowhere and proposed a wonderful piece of software that solved the age-old problem of transacting without any intermediaries over the internet. And then I started researching on my own. In other words, failed attempts to find the real Satoshi Nakamoto, and then finally gave up and started learning more about the software he proposed instead. And so, yeah, that was my original moment.
So why do you think it's important, and why should we pay attention?
Yeah, so definitely Bitcoin is important and worth paying attention to because it's a potentially disruptive technology that could have a major impact on the financial industry and also how we transact. And we can finally transfer value through the internet without trusting any other third parties. And that can change things to a great extent, especially from the Network perspective. We now don't even have to wait for 10 minutes for smaller transactions. And now we seem to also have a solution for the blockchain dilemma, which basically states that we can only have two out of decentralization, security, and scalability. So, yeah.
Interesting. Talk to us about your Summer of Bitcoin journey. Like, when was the first time you heard about it, and what was your first impression?
Yeah, so it was during the time of February. I was actually deciding what to do during the summer. And it was exactly the time when I received an email from you, from Adi, saying that he found my GSOC project interesting and that Summer of Bitcoin is also a similar program, but with open source Bitcoin organizations instead. So the next moment I found myself going through the Summer of Bitcoin website, and it felt like an amazing opportunity because I already knew the benefits of open source programs like these, and especially after GSOC, and that made me apply without any hesitation.
So tell us about your experience with the application process, and which organization did you end up choosing, and why?
Yeah, so the application process was a bit simple for me because my application got fast tracked because of having prior experience in GSOC. And not just GSOC, if you guys have any strong rating on any coding platform or have participated in any other open source program equivalent to GSOC, you will be eligible to proceed directly to the next round, which is called as the proposal round. And yeah, so I entered the proposal round, and which is basically you get a Discord invite where you can find almost all the resources you need to get started. And there are channels for each participating organization to chat with the maintainers and discuss the listed projects and also suggest new project ideas. In my case, I wanted to work on front-end issues because I was more inclined towards front-end development, but I didn't find any related project to that. So I went through all the GitHub repos of these organizations and found Alby to have more front-end issues to work on over the course of summer. So I thought I discussed the same with the mentor of Alby, and he happily agreed to that, and also took the help of Adi to list the project as well in the Summer of Bitcoin website. So thanks for that, Adi. Yeah. So, and out of all, I went with Alby because I felt like I was not yet ready for core Bitcoin development in the beginning, and also front end development. Like I said, I was something. It was something that I'm really passionate about. So I thought, why not help build front ends of Bitcoin projects while learning about it parallelly? And that's what I did entire summer, because ultimately you'll have to learn the fundamentals of Bitcoin to successfully work on a Bitcoin project, regardless of whatever you're working on. So yeah, and I'm really happy with my decision to go with Alby, because now I get to do both front end development and also create meaningful impact using software for people by building a product on the Lightning Network.
For those of for those people who don't know what Alby is, could you just briefly say what it is?
Yeah, so Alby is basically a browser extension which runs on the Lightning Network. So basically, so you all guys must be familiar with the UPI IDs with the rise of this UPI payments. So basically, in Bitcoin world, we have these Lightning addresses. So with using a Lightning address, you can basically transact value, like you can send and receive payments on this Lightning network. And if you guys don't know, Lightning Network is a layer 2 protocol built on top of Bitcoin. So basically, it doesn't even require you to wait for 10 minutes to process every transaction, because it's not it's off chain, and then it's goes on chain afterwards. So basically, Alby provides something like a basic browser extension for you to maintain all your wallets, like basically different Lightning addresses, and also to send and receive payments.
Right. And just to add to that, if you browse the web today, it's very hard to make payments online. Like, it takes a couple of steps, and needs you to interact with your banks and things like that. And so that makes it very hard to make payments, and especially micropayments, right? If you want to, let's say, send 1 cent or 2 cents to an article author because you like their article, it's obviously impossible.
Yeah.
There's a limit on the amount of money that you can send, and the reason is because it's going through multiple different intermediaries. It's going through the payment processor, then it's going through the banks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And instead, on the Lightning Network, you can literally do that level of micropayments without going through any intermediaries.
Yeah.
And that's basically the power of what Lightning Network brings to the table as far as internet native payments is concerned.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and hear about today's sponsor. Hey everyone, this is Adi. When I was starting in the Bitcoin industry a few years ago, there were hardly any resources to learn from. It was especially hard to find other like-minded Bitcoin developers and discuss about building apps on the Bitcoin blockchain. Well, things have changed, and I'm so excited to share with you about the Build on L2 initiative. Build on L2 is a community-led effort by contributors and companies building on Core Lightning and the Liquid network. It's a space to connect with Bitcoin builders, product managers, designers, and developers through events and mentorship programs, and learn from experts building the future of Bitcoin. It's exactly what I wish I had when I was starting out in Bitcoin. Go to buildonl2.com to join the community and learn how to build killer apps on Bitcoin. Back to the show. So Aditya, tell us about the specific project idea that you worked on with Alby, and what were the benefits of that project?
Sure. So I worked on fixing all the front end issues, and also on improving the overall design, like from the on a front end perspective. So I initially started working on TypeScript refactorings, and then I started shifting slowly towards more important things. And I worked on improving the accessibility of this extension, and also implemented new user interfaces on various screens. And I also developed the wallet export feature, which basically helps people with like different Lightning addresses to get the information of these Lightning addresses that they wallets they have, and also help smoothen the developer workflow by fixing bugs and other developer warnings. And then I started working on batteries for different websites. So batteries, in an extension perspective, are basically things which search for Lightning addresses in web pages. So basically, we search the DOM object, and then we find the Lightning addresses there. So what do we do with these Lightning addresses? We send it to the extension, and we help people tip. So basically, like what Adi suggested right now. For example, let's say we have the website of an author with a famous book. So this author can basically put a meta tag on his website with the lightning address, and then this extension can find that and can show you that this author has a lightning address on his website, so you can send sats to him. So you can basically send value to him for the value he is providing. So basically, this tipping is a very important part of the work we are doing at Alby, because this enables something called value for value. So yeah, not just book authors, even podcasters can do the same with their podcasts that they have on the websites. They can basically add this lightning extension address to their podcast description, and even bloggers can add this in their websites. And basically we are now adding value to the information that is being provided. And this is just one example of adding value to information. There are like various ways of doing that, and this is actually very interesting because it has the potential to disrupt Google search. And it might be funny, but it is true, because you can see many articles on the internet about the issue of Google search and why it is dying. Not the recent ones, which are based on ChatGPT, because Google obviously has equivalently powerful models. But I'm talking about the issue with Google's people appending Reddit, IMDb, GitHub at the end of the search queries to find more relevant information instead of like advertisements, because Google is starting to show more advertisements on searching for things, right? So it is all because of the page rank algorithm used by Google, which works similar to how research papers work, which basically work like the more the citations, the more valuable the research paper is. But in the context of search, it doesn't work well. So instead, we can go with a market rank, because this makes it list websites on their market value. And how can we get to know this value? This has to go. We have to go to know this value in a marketplace, for example, like Reddit, Quora, or Twitter. We have to go by the currency of these marketplaces, which is in Reddit, it's upvote, and it's Twitter, and it's if it's a Twitter, it's like. So the one with more upvotes is of higher quality. But if we somehow unify it and try to list based on this market value, then we can get more relevant information and in the search, and we can rank things more better than this SEO thing that we have right now. Because of this SEO thing, this SEO race, because of that websites which don't have this SEO optimization go down, which even if they have more important information that is actually useful, and even if it's nowhere available on the other websites. So this paradigm shifting idea, when combined with Bitcoin's Lightning Network, can do wonders, because now we can have a unified measure of value across websites, and that is Satoshis. Satoshis is basically the smallest unit of Bitcoin, and for scale, it's 100 million Satoshis equal 1 Bitcoin. So it's not even that much, but even people can and that's where just now, Adi said, it's basically equivalent to, not even equivalent to 1 cent. It's even less than that, and people can without any thought contribute sats and can use it as a measure of the value, basically upvotes or likes, and this can be used to measure the value, and hence can be used to list websites while searching, and this can help us find useful information faster. So this is of course an idea in the initial stages and can produce its own challenges, but yeah, challenges are opportunities for growth and success. So yeah, so there are many interesting things that we can do here, and yeah, that's why it's an important deal, and that's why I'm very happy working at Alby.
Wow, that was brilliant. So you actually touched on 3 breakthrough ideas that are enabled by Lightning Network, right? One is obviously something that we touched on, which was micropayments on the web, on the internet, without going through any intermediaries, and something that happens instantaneously. The second thing that you mentioned was the podcast ecosystem, where it's not just a one-time tip that you can do on the Lightning Network, but you can also literally stream money to the podcaster as you're listening to their episodes. So that is obviously something that is simply impossible with the traditional financial system. And the third thing that you said was how with Bitcoin and Lightning enabling a native currency of the internet, that actually helps us evaluate websites across the board and can be potentially disruptive to how we do web search, and how this can be disruptive to Google search itself. Awesome. Tell us about your mentor. You worked with one of the co-founders of Alby. How was your experience working with him?
Yeah, so my mentor was Michael Bowman. He's the founder and CEO of Alby, and he has tons of experience in the field of software development. He has like more than 20 years of experience in this field. And I was also mentored by Hannes, who's again an experienced front-end developer at Alby. Both of them are very kind and humble people and were willing to help me at any point of time. Like they always find time to explain things if I get stuck anywhere, and they always keep pushing me to do more. And overall, it was a delightful experience working with them.
Aditya, what are your plans now? Are you currently working on any Bitcoin project?
Yeah, so after an awesome summer at Alby, I received an offer from them to continue part-time along with my university. So the plan is to continue building projects on the Lightning Network because we at Alby are bullish on Lightning.
Sweet. So switching gears back to Summer of Bitcoin and the program, do you have any piece of advice for beginner developers who want to contribute to Bitcoin open source, and any specific tips for your friends and anyone who's listening to this on cracking Summer of Bitcoin?
Yeah, definitely. So the most important resource that I can suggest you guys is Chain Code Labs, because they offer an amazing self-paced course, and that too for free. And it's definitely the place to start if you want to learn Bitcoin or even Lightning Network. It's basically a collection of all the useful resources you need to master Bitcoin. So it saves you both time and effort. And it's also what we do during the Summer of Bitcoin program to learn about Bitcoin groups. So you can stay ahead of the curve if you're actually trying to apply to this program.
Sweet. All right, Aditya, thank you so much for sharing your experience with Summer of Bitcoin and your thoughts on Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited and especially feel bullish on Lightning.
Thank you so much, Adi, and thank you everyone for participating. It's been, and also thank you for providing me an opportunity in Summer of Bitcoin as well.
Thank you for listening to the Summer of Bitcoin experience. I would love to get your thoughts on what else would you like to hear from these student developers, and how to make this the most valuable podcast for getting started with Bitcoin open source development. Write to us at hello@summerofbitcoin.org. Can you do us a small favor? Go online and share this episode with at least one friend who you think would benefit from this episode. Until next time.